Hello, welcome to a GBR 2 versus 2 game, and the players are Albert playing as human, along with Anubis playing as human, versus the Prince as Orc, and Peterson as Night Elf. He's got his Ancient of War, so close to those creeps, and I like it. He's going to upset those creeps quite nicely, but those little buggers are ranged. They don't want to get close and personal. I wonder if you can kill this and then you go off with your Ancient of War to maybe attack through these trees and then take out the mobs here, because that would really bug them up. And I don't think they do amazing DPS, although I think the big turtle might, if I can get a grasp here, do chaos damage. He does. That's pretty nasty against, well, against any armor type. And whilst Ancient of War are sort of in mobile mode, they only have heavy armor, so I guess chaos damage doesn't matter that much. It's mostly what it does to fortified, because it basically nullifies the fortified armor. But yeah, I think you could do that. I think you could sneak through the trees and get to the big turtle, but we'll see if he does that. I'd like to see that. Let's have a look. Blocked off base, Archmage, more or less blocked off. He's got a bit more space to move around. We can assume that Anubis is going to be the one getting attacked then, so he's going to make it a bit more of an open base, so his ally can reasonably move about without getting into too much trouble.
A player's forces are under attack.
Blade Master almost out. Is he going to go on the prowl, the harass? There is a wisp here from Peterson, so he's going to be able to spot when they go into the Orange Creek. That's a good spot. See, these are things you really should learn for these 1 versus 1 maps. It's mostly a 1 versus 1 map. Obviously, it's being played in 2 versus 2. But little things like this can make a big difference to your game. I wouldn't know to put a wisp there, but look at the vision that's given. And it's sort of got its back. So if you went to go create this orange spot, you wouldn't really notice that unless you were knowing to look for it. So that's a really good spot. Archmage is going to do this green spot anyway. They start off with the little turtles. These turtles are down. The Ancient of War has done its job, and it's a Demon Hunter. I was half expect that was pretty close. I was going to say, I'm sure that's going to aggro. Ooh, that Archer's not going to do well when that turtle turns around. Oh no, that's okay. The Archer doesn't take a huge bite from that. So Demon Hunter's going to be pretty useful, but I was expecting a Warden. But I think a Blade Master and Demon Hunter will be pretty pesky enough, especially against a 1 human. There's not much you can do. Just run for your dear life, and they're going to try and deny this footman from getting away. And that was nice. That was kind of trippy. I like that. Because of the wind walk, it kind of bugged up the pathing of the Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunter skipped forward a little bit to then get the last hit. I don't think that was deliberate, but it was a nice touch. And here we can see Peterson has now lost his wisp, so Anubis did spot it. So I suppose there is upset and down. I guess you have to predict when you think the opponent is going to create this orange spot, so you're ready to move that wisp in time. But nevertheless, it did its job, and Peterson knows where to go. He's going to get a good old-fashioned mana burn here. Not, can he steal the item? You got it. Who got it? Oh, Anubis managed to pick it up. He must have just had the right angle there. That's pretty unfortunate for Peterson, but he will still get a good creep jack here. First is the peasants, and the Blade Master is here. They're working well as a team, basically trying to screw over the human as much as possible, which is the best bet, because human are very vulnerable to sort of harass, creep jack, all that kind of stuff. Kind of light, easy units to pick off, and the Archmage is incredibly weak. But he's fast, so he can run. He can run. He can run to that Arcane Tower. He's waiting for the Blade Master to get hit, but the thing is, the Blade Master's like, well, I don't care. I've not got any mana left anyway, so that's a good little block there from Anubis. Very nice, but he needs to bring him back. That's like very, very nice touch. I really like that. But how much longer can he last? He needs to keep trying to block it off, put all of his effort into it. He can do it. He can definitely do it. Keep throwing peasants in there, and eventually that the prince, will have to back off in a moment. Peterson's on the outside here. He's still picking up a few units. He's getting himself to level 2. Blade Master's still only halfway through level 1. Albert's decided to creep heavy at the moment. He's just nudging him his way up to level 2. But as a human, you almost definitely want to be ahead. By the way, feel free to read all the comments, because I don't have time to read them all. But there's plenty of chat going on. And Peterson is so close to that Archmage getting like 1 hit within range, and the footman also getting an extra hit. Oh, Albert even physically took a militia there, but oh well, I guess he took him to come rush, and he figured he may as well send one back. Good little TP there, because otherwise Peterson would have died, and he certainly doesn't want to die at this point because here looks like some sort of tier 2 push. With towers, I might add. Let's have a look. Yep, lumber mill just finished upgrading improved masonry, which means that all the human buildings are going to have a little bit extra life. Oh, that's a bad spot for the Blade Master. And they're also going to have a bit more armor. And the grunts are TKing the Blade Master. Oh, that was harsh. Bring the grunts back. Bring everything back. The Blade Master's got like no health. Oh my god. They are not ready for this. Oh no, they are not ready because the Prince got like 800 gold or so. And that's the thing. In this situation, if someone is doing like a full-on rush, you have to be in a position where you've spent all your resources as well. You've maximized on your resources. Because otherwise they're basically going to absolutely floor you because it's totally unfair. You know, that's 1,000 gold at least and whatever wood you haven't actually spent, whereas they've put all that down. So they're going to have a lot more than you. So this might be a position where he needs to feed Peterson and Peterson goes mass shims or something because this base is probably gone. I think it's going to be difficult to keep this up unless they can do some amazing micro and put enough pressure on those towers. Or maybe the archers can nuke down the towers whilst they're upgrading quite nicely. There's a good little bit of nuke from the archers. If they just get on with it, even with the look at the repair, even with the peasants trying to repair and die, they get a good bit of focus. They can bring down those towers. So that's actually a big boon for the Night Elf player to actually be there in that position with those archers. And we've got Demon Hunter coming in here. He's also got Shadow Mail going on, but they need to keep active. Guard tower almost about ready to go up, but actually they're going to be okay. I think they're going to be alright here. This is a lot of an investment from peasants wise, but they're going all out. And here's Anubis. Anubis needed to be here earlier. That would have been a lot more pressure on Peterson in order to stop him from actually killing those guard towers. One guard tower might go up unless they both switch onto it right now. The peasants are healing on it. It looks like it's going to take enough damage that it gets cancelled and it goes down. So they're at least going to survive versus the towers for the most part, but they've still got all these units sitting around. So we have to look at this. The Prince, he's got a burrow here that can hit that tower, so that guard tower is not the biggest threat in the world. It's all these units that are running around. Peterson's now trying to kite as best as he can Anubis' units, which are currently got defend, so it makes it harder to kill them with any ranged units, apart from heroes that can do well against that. Get that burrow loaded up, focus it on the guard tower. Obviously there's a lot of pressure going on at the moment, so it's very hard to focus on all of this at the same time. The Prince now having to move back his Blade Master, get him into a better position. This is really up to the Fire Lords. He hasn't actually got another lava spawn to bring down, so that's actually kind of good news for the Prince and Peterson, who's actually still putting the pressure on with these lovely mana burns. That's a very nice mana burn. It's basically trying to reduce the amount of summons that we're going to see in total. There's a lot of summon heroes being used on this map. It's like get tier 2, get mass summon heroes, go, because it's such a short map. You can overwhelm your opponent. That's a beautiful little win walk there, just sneaking out, get the healing salve going down. Guard towers are really starting to mass up though during all of this, and those footmen are not going anywhere. It looks like the Prince is leaving, which means that there's no chance for Peterson to carry through. Wow, okay, that's just a bit too much pressure. They did a really good job of actually handling that with what they had, and I'd say that resource-wise, if the Prince was a bit more well spent, obviously you didn't know it's coming until it's too late, and that's the kind of thing that happens sometimes. You know, you don't expect it, and you save up your resources for a bit, but that's like the perfect scenario for the opponent who is putting an all-in situation with their towers. And there's not much they could do at that point. That's just a shame. But they did really well with what they had, considering they had very little. So that was good. Anyway, thank you for watching. This has been Witty. Please subscribe, like, and comment. I'll see you later.